Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're exploring the 1980 Australian 2-cent coin, a small copper coin that was once everywhere in Australia but has since vanished from circulation. At first glance, it might look like just another piece of pocket change, but when we take a closer look at its design, history, and the reasons it was eventually withdrawn, you'll see why this little coin holds such a fascinating place in Australia's numismatic story. History and context. The Australian 2-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, alongside the new decimal currency system that replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence. It was meant to fill the gap for low-value transactions and quickly became part of everyday life. From paying for a phone call at a public booth to topping up small purchases in shops, the 2-cent coin had a practical role in daily transactions. By the time 1980 arrived, the coin had already been circulating for 14 years, and it was one of the most common and recognizable coins in the country. Obverse design. The Queen's portrait. On the obverse side of the 1982-cent coin is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This effigy had been used since decimalisation began in 1966 and shows the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It is a youthful and elegant image of the Queen, surrounded by the inscriptions Elizabeth II and Australia 1980. For collectors, this portrait represents a very familiar and consistent phase of Australian coinage, as it was used for many years across the full range of coins. Reverse design. The frill-necked lizard. The reverse side is where the coin truly comes to life. Designed by Stuart Devlin, Australia's master coin designer, the coin features the frill-necked lizard, a unique reptile native to northern Australia. The lizard is shown with its frill fully extended, a defensive posture that makes it look larger and more intimidating to potential predators. This design is both bold and unmistakably Australian, capturing the natural character of the country's wildlife. Alongside the lizard is the numeral 2, representing the denomination. For many people, the frill-necked lizard became the symbol of the 2-cent coin, and even today, decades after it left circulation, the design remains instantly recognizable. Specifications and appearance. The 1982-cent coin was struck in bronze, an alloy made of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It weighs 5.2 grams, has a diameter of 21.59 millimeters, and has a smooth edge. When freshly minted, these coins had a bright, copper-red shine. But as they circulated, they darkened to deep brown or sometimes even green tones, due to the high copper content. This natural change in color means that no two circulated examples look exactly the same. Each coin develops its own character over time. Mintage and circulation. The Royal Australian Mint produced tens of millions of 2-cent coins in 1980. They were common and widespread, and nearly every Australian household had jars or drawers filled with them. Children often used them as pocket money, and vending machines and small businesses relied on them daily. Because so many were minted, the 1980 issue is not considered rare. However, its sheer familiarity and the role it played in everyday life give it nostalgic importance. Withdrawal from circulation. One of the most interesting chapters in the story of the 2-cent coin is its withdrawal. In 1991, both the 1-cent and 2-cent coins were officially removed from circulation. The rising cost of producing these small coins and the declining value of their purchasing power meant they were no longer practical to keep in the economy. After the withdrawal, banks collected the coins, and many were melted down, though countless Australians kept them as souvenirs. For those who grew up with them, the disappearance of the 2-cent coin marked the end of a small but memorable part of everyday life. Collector value. In terms of value today, the 1982-cent coin is still quite common. In circulated condition, it is usually worth only a few cents, slightly more than its face value. However, coins in uncirculated condition, with their original reddish shine, or proof coins made for collector sets, are more valuable and can be worth a few dollars. While not a rare issue, it remains an essential coin for anyone building a complete Australian decimal collection. Closing thoughts. The 1980 Australian 2-cent coin may be tiny and humble, but it carries with it a big legacy. From its striking frill-necked lizard design to its role in the pockets of millions of Australians, it tells the story of a time when every small coin mattered in daily transactions. Although it has been gone from circulation for over 3 decades, the 2-cent coin remains a much-loved part of Australia's coinage history. So if you happen to come across a 1982-cent coin today, Don't dismiss it as just an old piece of copper. Instead, see it for what it is, a small reminder of Australia's decimal beginnings, and a coin that still sparks memories for collectors and everyday Australians alike. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more coin stories, or do you keep them share your own memories of using 1 and 2 cent coins in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting.